been a while since I've done a dollar bin video, so here you go. This is the Devil's Revenge, or Devil's Revenge. It's not a clickbait cover. That is William Shatner's face, and that is Jerry Ryan's face, and that is Jason Brooks' face. And you know what they all have in common? Besides being in this movie, they were all part of the Star Trek franchise. Two names should be obvious, these two. And this one as well. I actually had to look that one up. But when I looked at the cover of this, I thought, is this like a Star Trek reunion? And it kind of is. We have Captain Kirk, and we have the Seven of Nine, and then we have him. I didn't think he was from anything Star Trek related, but because I saw these two on here, I thought, he has to be. He's got to be in Star Trek somewhere. So I looked him up. I looked up Jason Brooks, and then I just added Star Trek to the end of the search query. And lo and behold, I found Jason Brooks' name connected to the Kelvin timeline. He plays, I think, one of the Klingons? No, not Klingons. Somebody. He plays somebody unimportant, because if he was important, I would have remembered the character. But he was in I believe it was the first movie. He was one of the nameless characters that said barely anything or anything at all, but he was there. He was there. So, there we go. We got 3 Star Trek actors playing in a movie found in the dollar store for a single $1. And I'm actually pretty lost on how to even begin to tackle this movie, because, as you can see, there's not really anything here that I can really give you that's not on the cover already. It's directed by somebody that I have no idea who they are, Jared Cohen. And it was made in 2019. Now, what's the significance to 2019? William Shatner's the significance to 2019. This man is in his 90s. I believe he's in his late 80s at the time of this filming, so they couldn't make him do a lot of action stunts. But he was in it. They shot it kind of like, what's a good way to describe this? The Bruce Willis movies that came out within the past couple of years, that he basically like 10 movies a year for the past 2 to 3 years, a bunch of direct-to-video stuff, and the way they shoot those films is that he had to do very little he was there for like 2 days, and he had to do very little. And that's kind of what this is. I believe they just brought Shatner in for a couple days, and he had to do very little. He was on set for the finale with the main characters, but it's not William Shatner's movie. Even though he's on the cover, he's only here because he's William Shatner. It's kind of like Kevin Sorbo. If you watch a bunch of zero-budget fantasy films that show Kevin Sorbo on the cover, kind of like the Mythica movies, which I honestly have a very soft spot for, but they put Kevin Sorbo's face massive. They give him a big spot on the cover of the Mythica case, even though he's only in it for like 3 or 4 minutes. He's a very, very minor character, but his name sells the film, which is honestly very correct. If William Shatner's face was not on this film, I probably would have ignored it. I would have. It looks very cheesy, looks very low budget, and it is. I am doing the best I can to try to remember what this film is about, and I'm honestly on a losing battle there. So I'm going to try to speedrun it the best that I can. We might even finish this video in under 10 minutes. So we begin with Jason Brooks' character. He's spelunking in some cave in Kentucky, and he finds a MacGuffin that's connected to a family curse that at least he believes it's a family curse. And he starts hallucinating things, but these hallucinations of these weird people in these little tribal devil outfits or whatever, they start coming to life from his visions, whatever, and they start killing everybody around him. So his buddies that he went spelunking with, one of them dies, and the other one blames him for the death. He goes to find his family, he breaks down, and then he realizes he has to go back and grab the relic and destroy it, because he keeps seeing visions of these people wherever he goes. He keeps seeing visions of these guys bothering his entire life. They kill people in his visions, but you don't know if they're actually dead or not, because something happens when he returns to the cave with his family. Jerry Ryan plays his wife, and then there's two nameless characters that I have no idea who they are. She plays the daughter. I don't know if the son is on the back cover here anywhere. Yeah, he's not. This might be him right here. This might be him, but I could be wrong. But he has a son and he has a daughter. They're both college age. He takes them out of college and says, "You guys gotta go spelunking with me," and she goes spelunking with him. And then the demon people come after him, and they kill his entire family, and he runs away. And he meets up with his dad, who's played by William Shatner, who tells him that he's just hallucinating things, and that his family's alive and well. They just got trapped in a cave or something, and they have to go back in and go get him. And then the little tribal demon men come out of the cave, and William Shatner's armed with a grenade launcher, apparently, and starts shooting at the demon people with the grenade launcher in terrible effects. I've seen better effects in Asylum movies. I'm just gonna say that. I've seen better special effects in Asylum movies. I like the costume designs of these guys. They look like excellent Party City zombie demon monster people. They're excellent Party City costumes. They would look really cool at a Halloween party, but the effects of William Shatner's grenade launcher shooting these guys, he goes to get his family, he runs out. William Shatner blows up the cave with himself in it, and killing all the demon monster people. Jason Brooks' character goes home with his wife and family, and he blows up the relic. He saws the relic in half and burns it. And then, at the end of the movie, you realize all this was technically, could have been in his head or something. He's on a hospital gurney, and they're trying to resuscitate him with the EKG or whatever they call it. So he dies at the end on a hospital gurney because of something. Earlier in the film, he gets into some sort of car accident, and he's taken to the hospital. And that's during the end of the first act. He wakes up, and he says, "I have to go back to the cave to fix this stuff," right? So that happens near the end of the first act. So apparently, I guess everything from the car crash forward didn't actually happen, and it's all in his head as he dies, maybe? I don't know. This is a very difficult film to remember. There's a lot of wasted nothing in the film. What do I mean by that? Wasted nothing. There's a lot of long takes of people walking through the woods or walking into the cave. They're just walking. They're just walking through the cave with some music playing. Now, if you've watched Lord of the Rings, you know those types of shots. Everybody's walking to the epic, awesome music playing. They're just long, beautiful landscape shots. This isn't a beautiful landscape. This is just some guy's backyard. And they're just taking long cuts of people walking to excellent, cool music, but it's just some guy's backyard. It's just long. The film drags on and on and on. This could have been over in 20 minutes. This could have been over in 20 minutes, but it's 90-something minutes. And you might not want to take a look at this, but if you're incredibly curious to a fault, like I am, give it a shot, but I don't want you paying more than $1 for it. If you can find it on streaming, if it's on streaming, give it a shot. Be imaginative.